A box is on an inclined plane, and the inclined plane does have friction, and it's going to be our job to figure out how fast it accelerates down the incline. It is attached to a pulley, so there's a cord wrapped around the pulley, and it's just going to, slide under the presence of gravity and cause this to rotate. Okay, and the mass of the pulley is 5 kilograms with a radius of 0.4 meters. Now, even though the pulley is taking care of something different, the force tension equation for the pulley does not change. So force tension is equal to 1/2 the mass multiplied by the acceleration. So let's do that equation first. So force tension equals 1/2 the mass of 5.0 multiplied by A. So that was a simple equation there. Now what about the box? Well, in the box, we haven't done inclines in a while, so let's kind of talk about it a little bit. So we'll have mass times acceleration for the box, meaning the net force, is then going to equal force gravity x minus force of friction minus force of tension. So why don't we get the weight of the box right now? So the force of gravity acting on the box is then going to be equal to 15 times 9.8, which equals 147 newtons. Now underneath, I will plug in my information that I need for this equation for the box. So we'll go 15A is equal to force gravity x, which would be 147 sine of 40, minus the force of friction, which is 147 cosine of 40, multiplied by the coefficient of friction of 0.30, minus force tension. So if you remember that the sine and cosine are backwards for inclines. The gravity x is pulling it down, whereas tension force is pulling up, and friction is also pulling up, and that's where that equation comes from. And really all we need to do is substitute this expression in, where I see force tension, and solve. And let me choose a different color to do this. So I've got 15A is equal to, 147 sine of 40 is 94.5. Then the friction force, when you work that out, is 33.8. Okay, and then minus 2.5A. If you take 1/2 of 5. And a lot more simple expression to deal with. Let's go ahead and group our like terms. So that would go to the other side, and then you would end up dividing these two, once you subtract them, by 17.5. We find the acceleration of the box is 3.47 meters per second squared. Okay, then all we got to do is plug the acceleration into this expression to get force tension. And force tension is equal to 2.5 multiplied by 3.47. And that equals 8.68 newtons.